Mm, 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 mm. Oh, hi there. Sorry, with all this kissing going around, I just thought I'd join in.
He used to watch his favorite show, then got a job on a TV show, talking about that favorite show, but then he had to go. But then he got his own show, talking about that favorite show. It's called Dishin' with DOOLigan. Dishin' with DOOLigan.
Hey, Dooligans, Mr. Dooligan here. Welcome to another episode of Dishin' with Dooligan. I'm going to be sending out my tweet right now. Hopefully, we can get some questions or comments during the show. All right, there we go. So now let's start off with today's episode. So today was a Good Friday episode. A lot of more information was handled today. But it was a short episode. Meaning, when I say short, I mean there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of reiteration, but there was a lot of good stuff that happened today. So we opened up the episode today. We're going to start off with Nicole and Damos. So as you remember, yesterday we left off with them having this very, very, very passionate kiss at the Kyriakis mansion. So we open up with the episode today with them. They're still kissing, and as Nicole is running her hands all over Damos, she discovers that there's a scar on him, on his chest, and she asks him what that scar is all about. So basically, she's asking him like, "What happened? Was it Victor?" Um, and he confirms that for her, saying that Victor branded him so he can never forget of I guess Damos crossed Victor at some point, and Victor stabbed him. Um, and then Nicole tries to be all playing her role still, and she goes and kisses it and starts kissing his neck, and then they start kissing all over again. And then Damos is after they discuss a little bit, he asks her if they want to go upstairs. Now she's saying like, "What do you mean by going upstairs?" And he's like, "Well, I will draw a portrait for you, very Titanic." And she kind of like she knows exactly what he's getting at, and she kind of backs off, playing very coy. She's like, "Well, I don't want to be the mistress. If you marry Kate, I'm going to be the mistress, and that's not what I want to be." And he basically starts warning Damos that if he does marry Kate, that he better have someone to check all his food, because Kate has a past of poisoning people, and she does bring up Chloe, how she poisoned Chloe, and mentioned how she poisoned Sammy, and then with that whole framed her for murder and with the lethal injection, blah blah blah. So we know that backstory. So basically, she's just warning him about Kate and what she's done in the past. So Damos comes to this conclusion and was like, "Well, you're saying that she's dangerous, blah blah blah. So how about what would you say if I married you?" Which is, of course, what Nicole's been wanting this whole time. So we cut away from that, and then we move to Rafe and Adriana, his mom, and they're at the house, and Rafe is being all mopey, very emo. And they start talking, and she starts telling Rafe how she has a job at the hospital now, or that Kayla offered her a job at the hospital. And then she starts asking Rafe about his date, and he kind of just like not blows it off, but just like tells her really quickly that it went okay and this and that. And while he's doing that, he finds the black roses that were delivered yesterday at the doorstep, and he gets really really angry because he wants to know where did these come from and who are they from and who are they for. So he gets very very angry. And then we cut to Aidan. Aidan is still held up in Doug and Julie's bed and breakfast, I guess you could call it. Um, and so he's up there. And oh, by the way, through this whole episode, there's a big rainstorm. I don't know if that's very symbolic of something. I don't know, but there's this huge rainstorm that's going through. So he's laying up in his room and he's hearing the rain, and he's having a lot of trouble sleeping because he's getting flashbacks of him being captured by the Demirs. And in the meantime, we cut to Hope, and she's also in her house. She's not asleep, but she's just walking around, and she starts reminiscing and having flashbacks about Aiden, attempting to kill, or the doppelganger Aiden trying to kill her. and then about you know being held hostage, and all that kind of stuff. And then so she leaves the house to go out into the rain, and so Aidan leaves his apartment or room to go run out into the rain. So we know where this is leading. So basically, Hope is sitting in that famous park with the bench, and she's sitting there in the rain, no umbrella, and in walks Aidan, and then they start talking. um, and Hope is being very very reminiscent about themselves, and she starts asking him more questions about you know him being captured, and about proof of wanting proof of how of him being captured. So of course this is more leading to Aidan gonna probably go back to Andre and ask him, and take the deal with him. um, so they start going back and forth about talking about this, and Aidan is still trying to not plead with her, but trying to be nice to her because he wants to win her back. And he basically confronts her and just tells her, I know you're still in love with me. And of course Hope has her little Hope eyebrow raised and everything like that. And then we move on to Belle and Claire, and Claire's just being the spoiled little brat that she is. They're at the house, and Claire and Belle are arguing because apparently there's a big court date. The big court date from them spray painting the judge's car is going to happen tomorrow. Um, so Belle starts letting her know, that whatever happens tomorrow, there's still going to be consequences. And Claire's like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" And Belle's like, "Well, you're not going to get that car for graduation." Oh my God. And Claire flips out, and she starts telling her things like, "I can't believe you're going to do, your typical teenager BS." And she's like, "I can't believe you're doing this to me. And oh my God." And blah, blah, blah. And you know what? I'm just going to move out. And so she basically tells Belle that she's going to move out with Ciara, which upsets Belle, of course. And as this is happening, Phillip knocks on the door, and he comes in, and they have this little exchange. Basically, there's there's some business deal that's going down, and and so Belle and Phillip are talking about this business deal, and then in walks Claire, because she's really trying to get signed on to Phillip's record label, and she kind of like comes up to him and trying to be all nice after she just threw this big old tantrum. And Belle's like sitting there like, okay, you're just now all of a sudden you're just nice. And she goes up to Phil and shows him her phone, and then she's like, "Oh, look, my video's going viral and has so many hits." And like Phillip is like, yeah, that's nice. And she's like, da da da, like she's like trying to like play herself up, and Philip just like basically just blows her off. It's so funny because he's just like, yeah, whatever, okay, that's nice, that's cute that you have hits on YouTube. So it was kind of funny too for him to shoot down, Claire, because she's just freaking annoying, and so it's good for somebody to be like not paying attention to her because she so desperately wants attention. So of course he blows her off, and she like walks away huffy puffy. And then Belle confronts Phillip like, how can you do that? She really wants to do this, and just because you and I have problems shouldn't mean that you should take it out on my daughter. But Phillip's like, yeah, whatever. So then we move on to Chad. And okay, I know all you guys are huge fans of Chad. I mean, but what Chad is going through right now is very, very annoying, because all of Chad's scenes are him of being emo and pathetic and sad and sitting in the dark and drinking. It's like, come on, buddy. You have a son you have to take care of. You can't just leave it all up to CR to take care of your son. So he's sitting here being all emo in the Demir mansion in the rain, thunderstorm in the background, sitting in the dark, and he's drinking, and he's just being all pathetic. And I'm like, dude, I mean, like, it's not like Abby is dead. She's like in a hospital. She's trying to get better. I'm like, so she's in there trying to get better. So your responsibility should be on your son and try to have him get better. Stop fucking scrapbooking. Stop drinking. Stop, being all emotional and being all pathetic. I'm like, fuck, you're Demira. I mean, step up. Stop being so pathetic. So anyways, so he's there, And then all of a sudden he looks over to his right and he sees Stefano sitting there. And obviously we know this is a hallucination. So he starts talking to Stefano, and Stefano starts asking him, where's Abby? You need to concentrate, on yourself. And he actually says what I'm just telling you right now. He needs to, like, he basically tells Chad that he needs to make sacrifices. And of course, he picks up the white queen chess piece, sacrifice things. And Chad's like, I'm not sacrificing my wife, and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, no, you have a family to take care of. You have, Thomas to look over. So quit being PUSSY and, step up. And so it just really angers me. Like, Chad was such a strong character, and now he's just such a pathetic piece of, blob just sitting there. So then after this happens, in walks Ciara, and she goes up to him, and she starts talking to Chad, and of course Stefano's gone. And she starts telling him, I can't sleep, and he asks her, well, what's wrong? And she's like, I had a dream about you, and I can't tell you because it'll never happen, blah blah blah. And she goes down and reaches for Chad's hand, and then all of a sudden Chad and Ciara kiss. And of course, at first glance, you're like, oh my God. And then, of course, she wakes up. So this is all her dream that she's having. Obviously, she wasn't dreaming about Chad thinking about Demira, but it was her dream about kissing Chad. So they were both dreaming, and they both woke up. Then we move on to Eduardo. He's sitting in his room, and he receives a text letting him know how did he like his gift, of course, those black roses, and talking about his family and saying, how's your family, blah blah blah. You better keep an eye on them. And there's a pic of Adriana in the text. So Eduardo gets really mad at this, but yet he's still confused about who is sending these texts. And then we cut to Sean D. He's sitting at the police station, and he receives a call from Claire, of course. And she calls him basically to give him a heads up. And she just starts bitching, crying, whining on the phone about how dare you not going to give me my car for high school, and blah, blah, blah. And you never call me. And you say I have no talent, and blah, 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 blah. And so, you know what? I'm just moving out. And so it's like, oh, God, I just want to punch her. I want to put this through and just punch her. Or just choke her, something. I just wish the virus would have killed her off. Anyways, so we move back to the Demira mansion, and Chad is still being the pathetic emo person, and then in walks Ciara, and they start playing chess. I don't know where this is going, but it's kind of really stupid. So they start talking about chess, and then he wants to teach Ciara how to play chess. Stupid. And then so we go back to Belle and Sean. And Belle has arrived at the police station because Sean called her. And they start talking about Claire, and he's getting angry at her that why did she tell her about not getting her the car for graduation, about moving out, and blah blah blah. So they start bickering back and forth. And then we go back to Eduardo, and he's responding to the text. He's like, who is this? Stop being a coward. Who is this person? Who are you? And why are you texting me? And then Rafe knocks on the door, or there's a knock on the door. No, it's Rafe, but Eduardo kind of has this steel bat in his hotel room. He opens the door and is about to swing and hit Rafe in the head. Maybe it would have improved Rafe's memory. But Rafe walks in, and he's telling him, yeah, well, I'm glad I'm not the person you were thinking was supposed to be at the door. And he starts asking him about, Patrick and about the flowers and all that. So he starts questioning Eduardo about that. Then we cut to Belle, and Belle is at the bar. I think it's TBD. I'm not sure. She's at the bar, and she's drinking. Knowing that she has a court date the next morning, I don't know why she's there drinking, getting drunk, because she can barely sit on her stool. And apparently the bartender called Sean over because Sean enters and basically tells her, you shouldn't be drinking. You have court early tomorrow morning. Let me give you a ride home. And she's all stumbling off the bar stool, and he's like carrying her out. And so he takes her home. So now we're at the end of the episode. So we're at the last scene, the last 5 minutes. And then so we go back to Nicole. And Nicole is walking around, obviously still in Kate's robe. And Deimos has gone upstairs to get something, her dry clothes. And so she's standing there in the living room, and she's like walking around. All of a sudden, she comes upon Helena's picture, and she starts looking at it. And who should walk into the Curiosity Mansion? Kate. So Kate walks in, sees Nicole in her robe, looking at a picture of Helena, and Deimos is not there. So obviously she's like saying, "What the hell are you doing here?" So that's the end of that one. And then we go to Belle and Sean, and he get to Belle's apartment, and of course Belle's all stumbling with her keys and being like, "Oh my god, I can't put the key in the keyhole." And then Sean is like, "Let me help you," and he gets up behind her, and of course they get really close, and Belle turns around, and then they kiss. So now there's a kiss between them. And then we move on to Chad and Ciara, and they're still playing chess. They've been playing chess. That's all they do. And she's like, "Oh, well, I better go check on Thomas." And she gets up and she tells Chad, "Hey, just want to let you know that you're a great guy, and you just not need to worry. Everything's gonna be okay." And then she leans over and gives him a kiss on the cheek. And after that, like, Chad has like this look on his face, like like he's surprised, like, or that he actually liked that kiss that Ciara just gave him. So all this kissing going around. And then we go to Hope and Aidan, and they're still in the park in that bench, that famous, infamous bench. And they start talking, and he's still saying that she loves him, blah blah blah. And he leans in for a kiss, so he kisses Hope. And as he's kissing Hope, guess who should walk by in the park at this specific moment is Rafe. So Rafe sees them both kissing, and he has like this broken-hearted look on his face. So that's where the episode ended, with a bunch of kissing, with Aidan and Hope kissing, with Chad and Ciara kissing, with Belle and Sean kissing, and Kate finding Nicole at the Kiriakis Mansion in her robe. So that was the end of the episode. It was pretty good. I mean, I know I kind of blew over that, but there was a lot of good points. I mean, it was a good Friday episode. Really good Friday cliffhanger. So tell me what you guys think about today's episode. Tell me what you think about my episodes. You can leave the comments below. Give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Let me know if you want me to add anything to this or take it out. I didn't get any tweets or texts today, so we'll just keep trying. Maybe we'll get one someday. So before I go, I just want to let you know about Red Nose Day. It's going to be coming on Thursday, May 26th, 9 Pacific Standard Time, 8 Central. It's going to be a live event on NBC. Red Nose Day is all about having fun, raising money, and changing lives. And the money that's raised through Red Nose Day will help transform the lives of children living in poverty, not only in the U.S., but internationally. And you can pick up your red nose amongst other little things like necklaces and glasses and stickers and tattoos and stuff like that at Walgreens. They're an exclusive Red Nose retailer. So this little Red Nose was only $1, so it's really really cheap. You can buy that, and it goes to a good cause. If you want to find out more information about Red Nose Day, you can go down here. I'll put the website, rednosedayusa.com, rednosedayusa.com. Like I said, guys, excuse me, guys, take a picture with your red nose. Take a selfie, post it on Instagram, post it on Twitter, hashtag Red Nose Day, hashtag NBC, just let them know that we're supporting them and their cause. So, you guys, thank you so much for watching all my episodes this week. I hope I was entertaining, hope I was informative. Like I said, tweet me, leave me some comments. I always respond to them, because this show is for you guys, because I'm a fan just like you, and so I'm doing this for you guys. So hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. And don't forget, peace, love, and days. Bye.